Previously on Vinyl Roulette, a silly man says silly things.
GSDS, meaning
Good songs didn't sample.
I actually didn't find enough sampleable material.
And makes silly mistakes.
Monsieur, je bois beaucoup.
I'm gonna have to go with the French one.
Alright, I f***ed up. What is up, greedy guts? It's your boy, Big Umami, and I was wrong about this record. So today, we're going to revisit the previous episode of my Vinyl Roulette series, which, by the way, was also the very first episode. So, I guess that's, we're off to a great start, aren't we? Anyway, by the time I was editing the previous video, I had the distinct feeling I had left something on the table, so to speak. And that something was this record. So, one of the two songs on this record was so good, I couldn't stop listening to it. But I couldn't really find a sampling point, if that makes sense. So, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I had COVID that day, maybe it was a new variant that destroys your hearing instead of your taste and smell, or maybe, you know, my dealer was on a good mood and I got to finally smoke the good that day. I don't know, who knows, could be. The only thing I know is that upon re-listening, I was like, what the f***, there's so much I could sample of this. And the cherry on top of the sundae was that, as Mr. Netmaker correctly pointed out in the comments, a certain producer called James Yancey, and that would be J Dilla FYI, actually sampled these three ladies in one of the most influential albums of all times. And on top of that, this producer just happens to be over my right shoulder right now. So yeah, I felt, well, stupid. I'm sorry, Jay, I let you down. Anyway, I gotta write this wrong, so let's jump into it. So, I'm gonna sample the first few minutes of the song. Basically just the intro plus the first refrain, and I'm not gonna show you the whole thing, otherwise there's a good chance I get a copyright strike. These are my slices. Let's play around with them. I like this phrase right here, so I'll set up a pattern to record it in. 96 BPM feels right. I will set the quantization to 80% and the length to 4 bars. Okay, I forgot to record the open hi-hat sound, so I overdubbed it. The problem is, it gets quite violently choked out by the slice I previously recorded, which is number 12. So I go into erase mode, and I erase slice 12 right when the open hi-hat is playing. There. Let's add some drums. I loaded a bunch of sounds into bank B. So let's start laying the hats. Snare next. And the kick drum. So to be honest, I'm not really feeling it right now. This pattern sounds a bit weird. I'm gonna copy it to part 2 and delete all of the slices. So as you can hear, there's just drums now. And now I can create a new phrase that I might like better. Just like this. Now let me stop for a second and just tell you thank you very much to all of my subscribers and my viewers. I started this year with a little bit less than 1,000 subs and I'm already at like 1,700. and I would really like to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That is, if we survive this year between, the pandemics, the war and everything else. So please like this video, subscribe to the channel, spread the good word and all that shit. Also, a very big shout out to all the people that donated to this channel. You can do so by going to buymeacoffee.com/bigumami. It's very appreciated, and I swear I'm gonna use that money to buy something for my daughter instead of an Electron Digitact. Alright, back to it. Okay, it's time to add some bass. I loaded a sample that I like. Let's tune it to the key of the beat. And in this case, it's -9 semitones. Let's add just a touch of low pass filter. And now we're gonna resample it. This way, when we use it in chromatic mode, it will be based on the new pitch rather than the old one. Let's move the original out of the way and let's place the new sound on pad 1. Great, now let's use chromatic mode. Unfortunately, there's no way to lay all the notes on the bank, so I'm just gonna copy this pad 3 times and use the pitches that I need. In my case, +2, +4 and +7. So yeah, I got all the pitches. Now that the bass is done, we need some variation in the pattern, because it's a bit repetitive, to be honest. So I use the same trick as before, copying pattern 1 and deleting the slices. So now that I have this variation, I'm gonna add a kick fill to the end of the phrase. And thank God for quantization, because that was bad. Let's also add some crashes and chimes. And some extra hats. And let's add the bass back now. Right, so now I'd like to create a completely fresh pattern to use as an intro. Let's go back playing with our slices. And this sounds pretty good. And these slices are actually assigned to bus 2, which is where I place a high pass filter to make us weep in the intro. Next step is finding a cool spoken word sample. And I ended up with this lady whose recounter of a building burning was absolutely hilarious. I mean, this woman went through something that's pretty traumatic for most of us, but did she care? No, being an entertainer is the #1 priority for her. As she proceeds to tell the story with such gusto, you gotta love her.
She said, something ain't right. I said, oh man. She said, oh man, the building is on fire.
I'm gonna apply a delay on this sample, and I'm gonna resample it while moving some parameters around, just to get some more movement.
My friend came to the door. She said, well, I was on the phone cooking me and my baby some breakfast. And she said, hey, something wrong, it's popping. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no. So the girl come downstairs. She come out her apartment with her baby with no shoes on. I said, oh, girl, it's cold outside. She said, something ain't right. I said, oh, man. She said, oh, man, the building is on fire.
Alright, all is left to do now is to chain the patterns together and have a little jam.
My friend came to the door. She said, well, I was on the phone cooking me and my baby some breakfast. And she said, hey, something wrong, it's popping. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no. So the girl come downstairs. She come out her apartment with her baby with no shoes on. I said, oh, girl, it's cold outside. She said, something ain't right. I said, oh, man. She said, oh, man, the building is on fire.
Alright, so this is it for today. I gotta say, this song definitely needed to be sampled, but in terms of final result, I actually prefer the first beat that I made in the previous video. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. If you haven't watched the previous video, you can find it right here. Please like, please subscribe, please send me love, please send me validation, please send me money or food, whatever, blah 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 blah. See you next week, right?